It looks like Wyatt is trying to show us something. Oh, yeah. This wall has special geometric features. It features translation, reflection, and tessellation. But what does that mean? Well, translation means you can take one of these rectangles and move it to another spot, and it will be exactly the same. Reflection means that if you put an imaginary line between the rectangles, it will mirror itself from one side to the other. Tessellation means that the geometric pattern consists of no empty spaces with the same shape filling it all in. There's one more geometric property that the wall didn't show, and that was rotation. This wheel shows rotation. Rotation is where you can take one part and rotate it around a point to recreate it perfectly where it's moved to. As shown here, this wheel also shows reflection on a single line, as indicated by Wyatt's hand. The next example of these geometric properties in action is the gear. The gear has reflection, with Wyatt's hand being the imaginary line that mirrors itself. Rotation, with Wyatt's hand covering a section, and then rotating the gear to show the movement of that same section. And finally, translation, for the smaller circles being pointed out are moved to another spot without disturbing the original circles. Wyatt is just pointing out many possibilities of the translation in the gear. Something special about this ventilation system for this computer tower is that it has all geometric patterns. It has tessellation, with the hexagon shapes filling in a section with no empty spaces, reflection, once again shown by Wyatt's hand, translation, with Wyatt pointing out where these hexagons move, and rotation, where the hexagons rotate around the larger center hexagon formation. This isometric paper hosts all examples of geometric properties. It is a tessellation, showing that the triangles all fill in the paper with no empty spaces, and reflectional, because you can cut this paper along a line of triangles and make it an exact mirror on the other side. As said by Wyatt,
rotational, because you can rotate this triangle and it will equal that triangle. Translational, yes, this triangle can be moved and it will be over here. Or if you make it into a square, you can move that square over to here.
Finally, this bubble wrap, like the isometric paper and computer ventilation, shows all examples of the geometric properties. It is a tessellation, with the circles filling in all the area in with no gaps to a close degree. Rotation, with my finger making a circle around a point that the geometry could be rotated on. A reflection, with my arm showing a line of symmetry. And finally, translation, with me pointing out the places that each circle is moved to with perfect recreation. Hopefully, with the examples provided in the video, you will see the translations and tessellations that appear in everyday life.